Today we are with Chaya Glatt. Chaya, thanks so much for joining us today.
You're welcome. So happy to be here.
Perfect. So we'll dive right in. The theme of today's episode is going to be creating digital funnels so that the right people are joining your sales meeting and they're already warm. So Chaya, how do you create funnels so that prospects arrive warm?
Okay, so let's start with the assumption that your prospects are coming to you through some digital means, right? So that means either they're reading an email that they just received from you, um, they have downloaded a lead magnet, like a free resource that you've given them, or they've gone to your website and then they've clicked that call to action button and they've scheduled a meeting. So when we talk about bringing warm leads toward you, we're talking about optimizing all of those pieces where you meet your audience, whether it's your website or your emails or your lead magnet, which then leads to an email sequence, to make sure that when somebody books a meeting with you, they already have a pretty clear picture of what you do and who you do it for, right? So if they're not a fit, they've already kind of like vetted themselves out. I can't afford her, or I'm not in her niche, or whatever it is. They've kind of figured out that they're not a fit. So they have an understanding of what it is that you do, who's a fit, how much it's going to cost, and they already have a lot of trust in you. And that's what makes the sale so easy to close is they're coming to you already trusting you.
That makes sense. So it's kind of playing the part of like the know, like, trust theory that most marketers and salespeople kind of trying to achieve.
Right. Exactly. We're not
Can you share an
reinventing the wheel here.
exactly? Can you share an example of how you've done this for some of your clients in the past?
Okay, for sure. So let's start with I'll tell you a story about a client who is an automation consultant. Okay. She does amazing work. She's brilliant. She has a lot of knowledge in her area of expertise. She recently repositioned her brand so that she is now an automation consultant for coaches, creatives, and consultants, right? And our goal in working together, and you could check her out, Yvette Levy, the name of her business is Day by Day. I'm a big fan. What we did with her project was we put together her website in a way that anyone who is a coach, consultant, or creative will immediately identify themselves there, right? So we're telling a story. We're talking about all their pain points. We're talking about those like underlying emotional desires that they have, right? It's not that like, especially when we talk about automation. So you don't want a Airtable system, right? You want an easy way to access all your information. So before we start talking about the beautiful Airtable that she's going to create for you, we talk about how frustrating it is for you that you can't access all the information that you need because you're trying to scale your business and you're doing very well and you're getting lots of leads, but now you can't find all the information that you need. So you're losing business and you're afraid that you're not going to achieve your goals and you're not going to hit that potential that you have because your information is all over the place. And then we talk about how, ta-da, Elite will swoop in and help you out and save the day so that you can achieve those awesome goals that you have.
Okay, that makes sense. It sounds like, I mean, automation to a lot of people is kind of boring, and being able to kind of hit those pain points like you were just talking about is really key in part of like the whole sales and marketing process.
Absolutely. And unboringifying things is a little bit of my specialty, my area of expertise here. When you talk to any founder or business owner, they don't think what they do is boring. They
Hmm.
are passionate and excited and all geeked out about whatever it is, whether that's like insurance benefits or automation or healthcare software or any kind of like nitty gritty detail, even if they just like manufacture parts for a very niche type of machine. I've worked with clients like that. They're super passionate and intense about what they do. And part of my job is making it not boring for everyone else as well. Like, let's make it about the reader so that they can also experience that sense of passion about this topic.
So then do you work more with founders kind of hand in hand with your services, or is it more kind of done for you, just they give you everything away you go?
So it's really it's a hand in hand process. So I'm not asking my clients to write the messaging. I'm not asking my clients to create wireframes for their website. My team and I do all that. But the hand in hand part happens in the research phase. So in order for us to do that epic job with creating the messaging and writing the web copy and structuring the wireframes, um, we need the client's input. So we do the DNA discovery session, and that's kind of an intensive meeting where it's anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes. And we get on a meeting, and I ask them a lot of targeted questions, and we get kind of tough. Like, I will ask questions like, what's unique about your product, right? And an answer that I get a lot is so high quality. And instead of just taking that and like putting in my nose, okay, high quality product, I will say, so why should anyone care? Why do we care
Fair
that your
enough.
product is quality? Like, tell me why that makes a difference to anyone. And we kind of, it's like pulling teeth. But as we go through this targeted questioning process, we get some really rich, meaty detail. Like, the reason that you'll care is because you want this, right? But all the other products that are like this are too expensive. So all of a sudden now it's attainable to you. Or the reason that you care is because you don't want to have to buy a new one every 2 months. You want to buy it once and it will last you 2 to 3 years. So all of a sudden we go from it's a quality product, which is cliche and everybody says it, it doesn't mean anything, to this is the product that will last you 2 years instead of 2 weeks, right? Suddenly we've made a shift from vague messaging to really specific, hard hitting messaging. So I love that part of the process, and the client needs to be there so that they can tell me that.
That makes sense. So with the specific messaging, and obviously like you're kind of going after a specific target audience, do you help identify the target audiences for the founders and the businesses you work with? Or is that kind of the they like I said, they just give you that and you run with it?
So it depends. Most of the time, my client will come to me with a very clear idea about who they want to target. So they'll say something like, we've been targeting this kind of customer and we want to keep targeting. We just need more of them, right? So with that, we kind of just need to hyper focus on the message that will work for that one profile. Sometimes the client will say, we've been targeting, let's say, parents with our product, and now we want to target educators with our product. And because they are pivoting to a new target audience, we need to make sure that we're refining the message for the new audience. So the parents might care about, for example, that the product comes in certain colors, right? The educators are going to care about a whole different set of things. They're going to have different pain points. So we will shift the messaging to make sure it matches the new audience. If they are saying something like, we don't know yet who we should target, then that becomes more of a market research project than a messaging project. Before we're deciding what the messaging should be, we're exploring the market and trying to find who will be a good audience for us to target with this.
That makes sense. So then I want to stay on the messaging side because that's a lot of what we do because we're a marketing firm. And so we're always on our clients about making sure that the messaging between marketing and sales is consistent. But how does the brand strategy play a role with the messaging?
Okay, so uber important because I feel like businesses have come a long way in that they now understand the importance of copy. Where it used to be just like, put some pretty words on the page. I think that a lot of brands are starting to understand the importance of conversion copy. And the piece that I feel like I'm still educating brands about is the branded conversion copy, right? So when you think about conversion copy, it means copy that's written to move the prospect toward a specific goal, like get in touch, book a call, download the free book, right? The purpose of the conversion copy is always to persuade the reader to get to that final call to action and to take that action. Whereas branded copy goes further and it sears your brand into this person's memory and makes an emotional connection with them, right? So that even if they're not ready to download your ebook today, and even if they are not ready to book a call today, they will remember you as the brand, the authority, the expert in this space, and they will come back when they are ready. That's the difference between just conversion copy, problem, agitate, solution, right? All like rinse, recycle. Could be true about any brand. You tell the same story, could be true about any brand. And branded conversion copy, which is unique to your brand and creates that emotional connection with your reader.
Okay. I want to stick a little bit more on the kind of like the funnel side now. So can you, for the listeners who might not know, obviously like the typical funnel is like top, middle, bottom of the funnel. What's the difference in the copy style that you guys use to kind of walk clients and customers through that funnel journey?
So the difference is we're talking like very vague terms here. But when
Yeah.
we talk about the top of a funnel, let's translate that to mean people don't know anything about you, right? When we talk about the middle of the funnel, we're talking about people who have gotten to know you a little bit. And when we talk about the bottom of the funnel, we're talking about people who know you and like you and know that they probably need you. So now that we've defined who everybody is in each part of the funnel, we can also define how we're going to talk to them, right? It's like treat people the way you would want to be treated. So let's imagine that I just met you. You do not know anything about me. That means you're at the top of my funnel. If I would say to you, hi, here's a $7,000 brand strategy package. Do you want it? It'd be like, I think I have an appointment. Like you would want to leave the room as soon as possible, right? So
Exactly.
yeah, so think about your funnel that way. The things that you need to say to the people at the top of the funnel are operating with the assumption that they don't know you yet, they don't like you yet, and even if they need you, they don't think they need you yet. So once you're aware of that, you could kind of retroactively figure out what you do need to say to them in order to bring them a little closer to your solution, right? You can't sell them your solution yet. They're not ready for that, but you can bring them a little closer. And the way to do that is by talking about what they are aware of, right? So maybe they don't know that they need a brand strategy, but maybe they do know that their top competitor just launched a new website and it is so much cooler than theirs, and they're starting to get like a little bit of an inferiority complex, right? So if that's what they're experiencing, you can meet them where they're at and say, hey, do you want a checklist that will help you review your website and see what you could be doing better? And because they're at that level of awareness, they might say, oh, yeah, that sounds cool. Okay. And then they just moved into the middle of the funnel because they took your checklist, right? Once they have your checklist, you could start talking to them more about stuff that you know that they think about and care about. And once you've nurtured them and warmed them up, they're at the bottom of the funnel. They know you, they like you, they're starting to be aware that they probably need you. And that's when you can pitch them your services.
Okay, that makes complete sense. So real quick, Kaya, can you just tell our listeners where they can find you and website and everything like that?
Sure. So you can find my website is chayaglatt.com. That's CHAYAGLATT.com. I'm also going to give you guys a page of free resources and freebies, which you'll include in the links. And on that page, you can get free ebooks and masterclasses and trainings that are specifically for entrepreneurs and marketers, and we'll teach you things about copywriting and brand strategy.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the show, and thank you for listening. We'll catch you guys next time.
Thanks a lot.